Hey,
Yo,
how are you?
good man. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. First one on.
Yeah, I know for once.
Switching the game. Switching the game.
Yeah, I'm switching it up on everyone.
How's it been like coming back? It's been like 2 days now or one day?
Yeah, I got back Sunday night, so 2 days. Yeah, it's been really good, man. It's been a bit busy.
Yeah.
Just kind of setting myself up with everything. Um, but yeah, really, really good, man.
Did Georgia come with you or is she still staying down there?
No, it's just because she's working.
Yeah.
She would have, yeah, she'd come up sooner, but just because obviously being a fire ethers,
Yeah.
I don't need her there. So I think she'll be up on the 10th at this point, which is good. Um, yeah, so
So
yeah,
she'll
she'll
at
fly up
least
and
she'll
then
be there for like peak week. So
yeah, she'll be there for peak week of states, and
yeah.
then yeah, stay all the way through for nationals, and then we'll head back together on the 6th of May.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so it gives us like it's good timing because as you know, it's hard for her because obviously her doing the job she does is stressful,
Hmm.
and then comes home to me, and then I'm prep. So it gives her a bit of a break, and she can just kind of focus on what
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
got to
one
do.
thing at a time.
Yeah, and then she'll come up for like the main part that I'll need her for
Yeah.
anyway, and it's the excitement. So, and the cool thing is we're actually going to go stay with Sammy Gardiner for the week of Queensland, which will be nice.
Oh, awesome. That should be a lot of
Yeah,
fun. That'll be sweet
yeah, it'd be
as.
good. So we'll go base down there with him, and we'll be roll down the regos and tan
Yeah.
and everything together, and
Fuck yeah.
yeah, so it'll be good, man.
That'll be
So
good.
yeah, but
How
even
Oh yeah, real good, real good. Nothing really that exciting, I guess, apart from after we last spoke. Training's been good. My diet kind of, I started like feeling sick eating my chicken and rice, and I was like, this is fucked. I haven't felt like this in a while. So kind of stopped trying to push a bit, was playing
yeah,
around with my food. And it's been interesting. I've never really, I've always had like protein, fats, carbs every meal, or maybe like minimal fats here and just fat from like meat or whatever. So it's been really interesting. At the moment, I've kind of been doing carbs because I'm just trying to stay on maintenance. So I've been doing carbs around training, and then like my first 3 meals are only fat and protein. And it's just been
yeah,
like an interesting experiencing, noticing like my pumps are way more crazy in the gym because like as soon that's like the first time I'm having carbs and
mhm,
having carbs post.
yeah,
Um, and then yeah, my hunger's kind of kicking back in now, like having the only protein and fat in the morning. So yeah, it's been an
mhm,
interesting little experiment, I guess, because I've never tried that before.
yeah.
Can't
Um,
complain.
Makes your body a bit more insulin sensitive that way.
Yeah,
You're not just getting this consistent source of carbs. It's specific windows, and then your body's like, oh, okay, we've got
kick it
carbs. We'll
in.
put them into the right spot, and yeah, I get that. That's cool. Did
Yeah,
you did you reduce overall calories, or did you just reshuffle like how
yeah.
you?
I was. I think I just pushed up to maybe 3.5, and I was like, and it was like 3 days in a row. And I'm like, I can barely stomach my chicken and rice. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I thought it maybe was the chicken and I hadn't cooked properly or
Yeah,
whatever. So then when I remade the second batch, same thing. And I was like, fuck, I'm like, I'm just going to pull back.
mm,
And so then I was eating like minimal carbs. Like I went from eating like 175 to like 100. And like my appetite seemed to have dissipated a bit. So I was like, no, no, well, let me just. So I think I ran out of rice, and I was like, let me just eat my protein. And then I ate the chicken, and then I kind of was just like, oh yeah, that was all right. I feel good. It feels
yeah,
fine. So I was like, maybe my body's just kind of, I don't know, inflamed, or maybe I was getting a bit sick. I
mm,
don't know what was going on. But so then,
yeah,
yeah, I think calories are with the drop of carbs like that because I haven't really. Maybe on 2.9 at the
yeah,
moment. So it's, yeah, because
yeah, okay,
I'm literally it's literally just I'm having like the chicken, and then I'll have like I'm putting ghee with it.
mm,
So I'll have that. That's meal one, meal two, meal three. Then pre-training is like 4 bagels or 4 English muffins with jam. And
okay,
then post-training is like uh, protein shake, and then I'm having cereal. So all my carbs are just coming from like fast acting, like so nothing crazy. So I think my carbs are pretty low too.
yeah,
So I think they must be sitting. I'd estimate maybe 300, maybe just under, because I'm having like a Gatorade mid workout just to try and keep
training,
the carbs not too low.
Hmm.
Because I don't want to be kind of getting back into a deficit. So my
Yeah,
body's
yeah,
kind of like maintaining a bit. So it's been all right, but
yeah.
been
Sick.
pretty interesting. Like I said, very interesting experience. I've been enjoying it. So something to maybe, I guess, next week I want to try and push the food back up. So hopefully
Yep.
maybe kind of still experiment with increasing the food, but maybe like keep meal one and two, no carbs, meal three. Okay, we'll add a little bit of rice back in and then
Mm,
keep the carbs for pre and post
yeah.
and just see
Yeah,
how
that's a
it
good
plays
idea.
out.
Yeah, just make like whatever carbs you add in, just make sure that digest really well. So
Yeah.
whether it's rice or cream of rice or like whatever it is, like I wouldn't add in something like potato or
No.
anything like the fuck potato, but no, that's good, man. That's sick. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's I mean, granted, like any carbs I get at the moment, just fucking my body just takes them. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I've noticed that too. Like, because my food for quite a while, up until yesterday when I saw saying we changed things, but my food's been what's it been? It was about 2,800.
Mm.
It was meal one, WPI, like 60 grams WPI, sorry, 50 grams WPI, 100 grams of low fat Chobani yogurt, 200 grams of berries, and then I have two of those a day. So
Yeah.
that's meal one and meal four. And then I do meal two is 300 was 300 grams of chicken thigh with like salad,
Yeah.
basically. And then meal three, 300 grams of four-star beef. Um, and then yeah, meal four was that berry meal again. Um, 60 grams WPI post workout, and then my last meal, 300 grams of beef again, 100 potato, 100 pumpkin, and then salad.
So yeah, barely like any carbs.
Oh, like 87 grams of carbs.
Yeah, fucking hell.
It's been like this for a while, and then
Yeah.
with obviously like when I was getting like really really flat or really really fatigued, then we give me
A little
like
boost
two
here and there.
two high carb days usually. Yeah,
Yeah.
they'd be about like mm, about 400 grams of carbs,
So
three to 400 somewhere around there.
you said he just changed it. So has he given you a little bit more carbs now? Just kind of or down even more? Really pushing it.
Yeah,
Damn.
we so the yeah, it's funny because we caught up for the first time in person yesterday, and
Yeah, yeah.
he was like, "You look fucking good,"
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's funny, bro. I was explaining this to like Jaiden and stuff when I saw him yesterday. All my check-in photos and videos that I've been posting, they're all number one in natural lighting, and I'm flat and fasted in the morning. I don't have any like the gym's down here, bro. Like I've been training in the equivalent of a Snap Fitness down there this whole time.
Shit.
So there's no posing room, no nothing, and yeah. So basically, yesterday was the first time I've seen myself really under like proper gym lighting, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck?"
Well, that like I was gonna bring that up, like especially when Jaden got on, like both you guys when you posted that, I like literally I was going for a walk. I had to stop and really like take in what I was looking at. Like I was like, holy shit! I'm like, you both are looking phenomenal. Like you can
Right.
100% see the improvements that you've
Mm,
both made,
yeah,
size
yeah.
wise, condition wise. Like definitely gonna be your best package today. And
Mm,
it's funny that makes a lot more sense now that your check-ins were looking really good, but it makes more sense, knowing natural lighting, you're flat and kind of seeing, I guess, because Jaden just posted a thing earlier today of like, faster check-in, and I
yeah,
can tell the difference, like looking at that compared
yeah.
to last, obviously in the gym, and would have been a bit full
Mm,
from, a pump and some carbs pre-workout. So it's very interesting. It's exciting. So at least
yeah.
Sam was happy.
Oh, yeah. He's over the moon for me at the moment, man, with
Fuck
where
yeah.
I'm at, and yeah, it's fucking cool to see, bro. Like, because yeah, like again, man, like all my check-ins, like I'm never looking at myself in the mirror.
Hmm.
I'm facing the phone, like I have so that and that's good because it's made my posing better. Because I have to remember how to hit the poses properly and then
Yeah.
review them, but I don't have a mirror in front of me. So um yeah, man, it was just cool to be able to see myself yesterday. I was like, fuck, okay, we're good. We are good. So yeah, man, then yeah, we basically sat down and he was just like, I want you ready in like a week to 2 weeks, like ready.
Yeah, yeah,
He's like, we've only got a bit of fat to take off your ass and your hamstrings. He's like, so the phrase he used is like, we're going to pull the ass end out of the diet.
yeah.
So he pulled my fat from 100 to 40,
Yeah.
brought my carbs from 87 to about 65, and then my protein from like 390 to about 340, 350.
Yeah,
So I'm
yes.
on 2,000 calories now.
So really digging deep now.
He's like, honestly, man, I think, Malone, you probably need this diet for a week
Yeah.
and you'll be ready. But the good thing is what we're doing to kind of like help kind of compensate, because like I'm obviously not working while I'm here. Like I'm just doing client stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
having to work at NW or anything like that. So what we've done is basically he's like no more cardio, because I've been doing an hour and a half every day for weeks.
Mm.
No more cardio, 15,000 steps, and basically the idea being is eat a meal, go do 3,000 steps. You got 5 meals, 15,000 steps.
Yeah, because you got the
So it helps
time.
helps the digestion, moves the food around. Um, you know, yeah. And then from
Navigate
there,
stress too.
100%. And then yeah, training wise, push pull legs rest, push pull legs rest. 5 exercises a session, no more than 2 to 3 sets with one intensity technique. Get out.
Yeah.
So I went and trained push today. Took me 45 minutes.
Ah,
I felt like shit, and this is we expected this. He's like, you're going to train like shit. Like it's
yeah.
not going to be great sessions, but this is why we're doing it this way. So I got in, got out, and I don't have to go back to the gym.
That's good. That's good.
Awesome.
It's a interesting way to approach it, but I guess like, it's the best way to not cause like any
Well,
inflammation or stress on your body while, everything
stress
is so
fatigue.
low. So you
Yeah,
should,
man. And he said to me, it was just like, what's the point of keep doing cardio now? He's like, you're already peeled.
yeah.
He's like, we just pull your food down, drive it down that way. Like again, eat, go for a walk, sleep, like
Yeah.
because I can do that. And yeah, man. And what was I gonna say? I fucking can't even remember, mate. But yeah, so no,
Yeah.
everything's tracking well, man. It's
That's good.
but
That's
this
good.
is what I was gonna say. I literally dropped. I was 85 point. No, sorry, not 85. I was 98.5 yesterday morning.
Yeah.
Woke up this morning at 97.1.
Oh wow.
Just
Almost
over.
more than a kilo.
Yeah.
And that's just from the one day of change of food, hey?
No, bro, I started the food today.
Oh, today.
This
Wow.
is
Okay.
stress, like because I don't have to worry, like because obviously the last few days, because me and George made the call pretty quick for me to come up. Like it was like within a day, I changed my flight and I was like, I'm flying up
Yeah.
tomorrow night. Um, so yeah, like you think about obviously the flight was a bit, relatively stressful. You hold a bit of water from it. Then Monday was running around here. I was just obviously organizing like, food, sups, like all that shit. Yesterday, I was up at 4 to do some cardio, came home, got ready, drove to the Gold Coast, picked up my posing trunks from All For Me, which is
Yeah.
sick, by the way.
Oh,
Um, and then, yeah, drove over, saw Sam, consulted with him, caught up with Gene, stopped in to see Sammy Gardiner actually as well, which was good. And then went over to Jared Miller's place. We
yeah.
caught up for a bit, had a meal, and then I drove through, stopped in at Brendale, said hello to Jaiden, and then drove home. Got my hair cut, and then got groceries,
Fuck.
drove home.
Long ass day.
It was a fucking long day, bro. But
Fuck yeah.
really, 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 really good day as far as like I got to catch up with everyone.
Yeah, everybody.
So it was really good for the soul, so
Yeah.
to speak. And then yeah, got back, had a meal, had a little bit of a nap, and then I got up and finished my steps, and then yeah, had a meal and went to bed. Granted, I had a really good sleep because I got super stoned before bed, which is cool. And then
Take it easy.
woke up this morning, like took the best shit I've probably taken in months. Like, and
That's for the kilo win.
right, and yeah, and I jumped on the scale, yeah, 97.1. I was like, fuck, all right.
What a solid shit.
And it was a new low. I was like, cool. And then
Fuck
like
yeah.
the whole day today, bro, like, yeah, I've definitely and I think the humidity as well has helped just push some water out of me that
Yeah. It's been
wasn't getting
hot.
pushed out. Well, down in Tassie, it's not hot, bro. Like they have hot days, but it's not humid,
Yeah.
and it's actually quite cool. Like I was talking to George yesterday, and it was I think it was like 12 degrees or something like that that part
Okay.
of the day. Like it's cool down there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I was looking at myself today, man. It just fucking lines, veins everywhere, like
Perfect. Right on the
veins
money.
all over my glutes, hamstrings. I was like, cool.
Very nice. Very nice. Right on
Right.
track. Tick,
Yeah.
tick, 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 tick.
Well enough, man. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. How are you,
I
Sam?
find big days like that you're talking about where you're just active
Yeah.
and you drop in here, you do that, you do some shopping, you do you always drop your most on those days. If you can just keep moving, man, always big drops.
100%.
Well, hello, Jaiden. Hello, Sam. How are you both?
Oh.
Going on, boys?
Mate, you look so different without the beard.
Yeah.
He looks a lot more handsome, doesn't he?
Yeah, you look like you don't look like a child, but you look like a lot younger.
Yeah. I feel like a child.
Yeah, I thought you keeping the mustache. I thought you were gonna go a full clean shave.
No. I gotta keep fucking something. Keep it somewhat interesting.
Yeah. Sam's
You're
gonna
gonna
go to that.
Duster.
What was that?
You're gonna represent the cookie duster on its own, are you?
That's right.
Yeah, nice.
Respectfully.
Go on, get it India.
What I was gonna say was I was just saying to Luke about those photos you posted at the gym yesterday, Jaiden, bro.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, fucking mint, man. You look good. You both
Thanks,
look
bro.
good.
Thanks, man. I'm not the biggest fan of that mirror. Fucking, I reckon it makes you look fucking skinny.
Really?
Like narrow. Like, cause even Luke, like, we took photos in the mirror and like it makes you look lean, but it makes you look skinny, like narrow.
Yeah.
Takes that like three-dimensional kind of pop away.
Yeah. It's not a good mirror for that. We like me and Luke look, I think, a lot better in person.
Yeah.
Even I knew Luke was well improved, but even seeing him in person, I was like, fuck.
Because that's not the pose. I think the posing room in Brendale's shit because it doesn't have a mirror at the back. It's like this weird, just
you can't see back at all.
Yeah.
But like it should have
That's
a thing
what
where you can see
World's
back.
Creamer is like that.
Yeah. But
World's Creamer is the
it's
same.
way
It's just a mirror on the
smaller than
wall.
it's way small.
Yeah,
It's like
you're just
half the
hitting
size
back
of
shots
World's
going. I
Creamer.
wonder what it's like.
Gotta find like that angle, then you look on the side, but then you're never straight anyway because you're like looking diagonal.
Yeah, it's like half the size of World's Kuma, but the lighting's like warm, but so you look really good in the off season. It's weird, but then you look shit when you're on prep. Like in the off season, looks great. You're like, man, I look big, I look full, I look round. It's nice. But then as soon as you're on prep, you're like, I'm soft. You can't see like it doesn't show dryness.
Yeah.
What color is the light?
Like orange.
Oh yeah,
But it's
right.
the walls.
So
They're
it's kind
like
of Ashmore. It's got like a switch.
Yeah.
You can change 3 different light settings.
But see, I think all posing rooms should be black. It's gray, isn't it? Gray. It's like a warm, weird.
Yeah, I don't know
brown.
why. Like, I don't know why it's that bad because, like, it shouldn't seem it. Like, it's got like nice, like the lighting, like the orange isn't really the problem. But then, yeah, the walls are like gray.
Walls.
I don't know why that makes such a big difference. But like, yeah,
Well,
but it's just shit.
Did you know when Stafford first opened, like how it was all white and I had that was bad.
That was fucked.
And then they finally changed it to black, and then they got the black mirror.
It was literally the wall behind you.
Yeah, it was criminal.
The whole way around with a really bright white light. And like I remember me and Luke walked in there, and this was like a week or two after the show, and we just took our shirts off and we just walked out. We're like, fuck no, I'm not looking.
So gay.
You cannot find like the. I remember I went in there one day and someone had put like a sticky tape of like, I guess where you meant to stand. But no matter where you stood and what way you looked at the mirror, it made no difference. So I don't even get what the point of that was.
Yeah.
No, and now they painted the whole thing black. I haven't been back to see if it's any better, but
it is. It is. Before I left Brisbane, I saw it, and they got a mirror up the top so you can kind of like look up and see your back properly. It makes such a big difference.
Yeah, I don't know what the photos or whatever turn out like.
Have you ever used the posing room in what's it called, One Gym?
No.
Because the only time me and Jaiden have been there was to get coffee and toasties after nationals.
We only went there to eat.
That was so fucking good, bro.
Yeah, like
it was good until I choked.
Yeah,
I know.
A muffin
and
a toasty in that for now, they're all good, but his posing room's mad, man.
Yeah, I imagine it would be.
It reminds me of like the Dragon's Lair style posing room.
Yeah, very similar. Very similar. Not that I've been there, but when I see all these photos up on Instagram, I think they're at one gym, and then I realize like some American or some, you know, like, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So based like on face value, just looking at photos, it looks like he's nailed the same sort of thing.
He's done a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, props to
Mm.
Mike with that gym. I hope.
Yeah, just going off Lucy's photos on Instagram, it looks like it's fucking pretty good.
I hope he's able to bring it here. I was talking. I can't remember who it was. Someone on his team, and they're saying that he's thinking of actually bringing one gym to Queensland.
That'd be good.
Nice.
Yeah, he is.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
he's
would he do that,
looking
though?
for a location now.
Oh, okay.
What
Pretty certain he wants it to be on the Gold Coast.
You'd have to do like somewhere in between Burleigh and Ashmore, I reckon. Like, because you have like the UFC gym, you have World Gym
Too many.
or like Burleigh, but there's like nothing like in between. I think that you find like maybe it's hard because you got like Miami, but then you got all the schools and stuff like that. There's no actual area where you can just kind of like build a proper gym. So it'll be interesting. But that's like what's his name? He helped open up like Powerhouse Elite, and he wants to bring an oxygen gym here. Like that's pretty interesting.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Alex.
Yeah, they want one in every state.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. I don't know how it's going to turn out if it actually, from what I've heard, he wants it to be big, 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 big. Like,
well, all the oxygen gyms that I know of, they don't fuck around.
yeah,
massive.
Big gyms.
Yeah.
but good. We need more. We need more. I've always said this. We need more bodybuilding designed, I guess, commercial gyms. Like I just feel that things like Iron Asylum, things like Riggs Gym, but if they can get them on such a bigger scale, like one gym or Oxygen Gym, it would be good. We need that as bodybuilders. Commercial gyms are just too much now, too much.
Yeah, Mike must have had a bit of coin behind him to fucking do one gym.
Yeah, must have.
I think
didn't he get donated a few of these pieces?
maybe.
I'm not 100%.
Sure, but he's still got stuff on order.
Oh, okay.
So
He's got a few prime.
Hey,
I know he's got a few prime pieces that he's been getting in recently.
he's got about half a dozen prime. He's got a heap of He's got some Nautilus. He's got some what's Flex Lewis's brand again?
Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal, just some of that. He got some pardon me. He got a heap of stuff from Built up here.
Bill
So-
HQ.
Yeah, he got a heap of stuff from them. And so in the meantime, while still more stuff is on order, he just bought the normal Life Fitness and Hammer Strength and that. So he's got everything there. Yeah. And as things turn up, he picks them out and puts in the one he's been waiting for. So it's a full gym. It's probably nearly close to done. I don't think there could be much more in order, but last time I was there, he said he's still got some coming. When I looked around, there was only a handful of pieces that you can just find in any gym. And then even then, sometimes like the Life Fitness seated hamstring curl is still one of the best seated hamstring used, So, yeah, I think he's pretty close to done, but all we need is more gyms here. Because it doesn't. You can go to like a Worlds or an EMF or and it's all just the same brands.
Yeah,
it's just the same equipment. Like it's all you need is a place to open up. So one gym will be good. So it'll only be small. Well, not small, but you know what I mean. It's not a giant gym, and but it'll all be equipment that we all know, and we'll fuck it. It's worth driving that little bit of extra on the weekend to go there or whatever it may be.
But that's the thing. I think that's where the location is super important. Why we need it more down this way, because you got Riggs in Brisbane, then you got to go to Helensvale to get to Iron Asylum. So having something just a bit more this way, so everyone who goes to Ashmore, Burleigh, whatever, can kind of have a center point, and then you can go, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a day trip up to Brisbane, or I'm gonna take a little 15-30 minute extra trip to Helensvale to get to Iron Asylum.
He'll do well. He'll do well. The gym will do well, and then Oxygen. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what flavor they put in when it comes to gym equipment and stuff like that.
I'm glad that Worlds has started to throw in a few more Panada pieces to all their gyms though. That's been That's been good.
I noticed that I went to Burley the other day or a couple of weeks back, and they got a whole bunch of new equipment and threw out some of the old ones, like you're saying. So I agree. Like Burley finally has like a proper T-bar row, assisted T-bar row.
Burley was behind for ages, but they
Yeah.
seem like they're doing the right thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know like somebody that John approached somebody I know about turning his gym into a world's, and he just had all these stipulations. You got to have this many pieces of hammer strength and this many pieces of life fitness, and now he's like, I don't want that many pieces from them.
Yeah.
He's like, a couple of them are good, like that's fine, but you're going to make me have 12 of this and 14 of that when they don't have 12 good pieces. You know, they've got 5 or 6 that I'd be happy to have in my gym. The rest I'm just going to, you know, so he went against it because there's too many stipulations on what brands you have to have. And when you can only fit X amount of pieces in a certain space, you start limiting yourself.
At that point, is it like not a contract, but like a deal in that regard that, oh, okay, well, for this gym to have the supporter backing of this, we have to cater to having, you know, like you're saying, 14 hammer strength or 14, 12.
It's to make it uniform. So it's the same as like a snap. I don't want to not pay to go to your snap when I can pay to go to yours.
Yeah.
Because one's better than the other. I need
the
us all
mandatory.
as uniform as possible so that we all share the money evenly, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it comes down to that. And then, you know, you do deals. So like hammer strength to be like, I'll sell you pieces for $2,500 each, you know what I mean? But if there's a world's, you at least have to have 12 of me in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise you can pay the same price as everyone else. So yeah, lots of stuff like that.
How's prep going? Either whoever wants to start, Jaiden or Sam. How's everything been going traveling since we last spoke? Both looking on point, both looking sharp.
Go for it, Mushtaka. Go for it.
All right.
Tell us what you got.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's definitely been, this one's been a lot more challenging. Everything's been fine. I'd say just the past 3 days, like this week, have been probably just the worst I've fucking ever experienced.
Physically or mentally?
Physically. Yeah, probably mentally as well, actually, to be fair. Like, I'm usually pretty fucking on point mentally, but just the past like 3 days. And when I say mentally, though, it's not like comparing or like worrying about shit. It's literally just mentality falling apart from fatigue being so high, where it's just like stress becomes harder to deal with because you're so fatigued.
Yeah.
It's not so much like I haven't like cared about competition or doubted myself or anything like that once. I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing it anyway. But it's just like mentality towards everyday life and fucking shit like that becomes harder to, I guess, work around when your levels of fatigue are so high and you're like can't think properly anyway. But yeah, I'd say the past like week and a half has been like a big jump in fatigue, and then it's just been like compounding each day, it feels like. But yeah, but other than that, it was good.
Do you think that's because obviously, you know, drop of calories or just training intensity? Like, did you?
It's the body fat. It's the body fat. So I was saying this to, I can't remember if I was saying this to Luke or not, but it like the other day when we're talking, but yeah, like I was fine because I've been on this food for almost 3 weeks now, and I was fine at the start, and then it's just this last week when I actually noticed I was peeled. Then it was like once I got peeled, it was like, oh, now I'm fucked. Even though the food didn't change, I was just, it just
the body fat reserves aren't there now.
That's it. There's just no reserves to draw from anymore.
Yeah.
For me, it was when the T3 went in. So I never used T3. I never had it before, and then he put it in fucking at just like basal dose at fucking 12.5 micrograms, and then 4 days later, I was like 3 kilos down, and had a high day, and I just kept plummeting down. And within a week, I was a lot more shredded. Like after a week of starting, and then we still put it up a little bit higher again, so to 25 micrograms now, which is still very reasonable dose. But again, once I put it up to 25, and the body fat just wasn't there, that's what's just killed me. So it's just like at the moment, everything is a very big effort. A lot different to last year. Where last year I found I was a lot more moody last year. That's probably also because I had much more of a shit life in general. Working a job I didn't like, and fucking dealing with a lot of shit on the daily because of work and stuff like that. Now life's a lot more enjoyable. I get to actually do what I want. So I feel like I'm in a much better mood, which is probably why feel like my mentality's been better. But yeah, fatigue is definitely a different type this time. I mean, like last time, I think the lowest my carbs got were 200. My fats were still around 30. That was because I was still having like one meal of red meat a day. That was the lowest everything got last year. But I spent most of that time until about 4 weeks out on about 300, 350 carb. But this time, obviously, for 3 weeks now, I've been averaging anywhere from 30 to 50 grams of carbs, and then about 15 grams of fat consistently. So that's what's been the hardest.
Are you worried about? Obviously, it's working because your conditioning is coming in, but are you worried that may get you over dieted, or you think that you have enough fail safes in place to stop that from happening?
No, I don't. I was thinking about it, but I was also like, if we continue doing that, then yeah. But is also that little bit still hanging around on my glutes and hams that whole time. And there's probably still a little bit that needs to harden up. So, you're not gonna over diet before you're on point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you need to go past the point of perfection before you're over dieted. But I spoke to Justin today. He didn't get back to me till about 2:00 this Savi, just because obviously American time and stuff like that. And that always happens whenever I send my check-ins a bit late. So I slept in as much as I could today and sent my check-ins at like 9:00 or something, when as opposed to like 6, he'll get back to me pretty quick. But he got back to me in the Arvo, and we're starting to fill up now. So we'll actually start to fill up now into the show, which is again just a different approach than. So I don't think we're going to be doing like a carb up for the show. It'll just be like we've added. He's adding 100 grams of carbs a day from now, and we're just going to play that by ear. So from now until Monday, I've got an extra 100 grams of carbs just from rice, really, just like 30 grams of rice in each meal, or for 3 meals a day.
And that's just and you reckon I guess the plan is to try and just find that perfect fullness with the conditioning that you're happy with, and then just try and hold it for however long that's left?
Pretty well. I think you'll find like it's still a massive deficit. So it's still like I'll still be losing body fat on that as well. It's just to stop that over dieting, and to stop just a big reaction to food from having 600, 700 grams of carbs in a day. But that might not necessarily stay. He might do that till next Monday. And then he might go, okay, cool. Let's do the rest of this week back to what you're doing before at fucking, 30 grams, 50 grams of carbs. But
this is still 4 weeks, hey? Or it's a bit over
3 this weekend.
Just over 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So he might, come Monday, he might go, no, we're going back down again or something. I guess it just depends what happens. But like I said, it's still a very fucking big deficit in general. Like it's still fucking low food. It's only, 100 grams of carbs is only another 400 calories extra total. So it's not a lot really.
Yeah. Still going to do its job.
Yeah, that's right. I'll still be getting leaner, but he's backed off cardio, he's backed off clen. So it's obvious that he's trying to reduce fatigue now. So he must have had a pretty good idea of where I'm at, because I don't complain to him ever. Like I've never said, yeah, man, like I'm fucking in a lot of pain or like anything. I just send him the check-ins and I'm like, here we are. Like, this is my weight. I give him any updates that I feel are necessary, but I don't talk to him about my feelings, So he's like, but yeah, sent the plan today, reduced clen, half the cardio, and added 100 grams of carbs. So that
you should start to feel a bit better. Then that's good.
Yeah.
that should start to pick things up. Just livelihood, start to pick up a bit. Like it'll be very easy to get that cardio in. I found cardio to be the most stressful for me in terms of like some people, everyone has different areas in bodybuilding where they struggle. Some people are better at other things than other people. The two areas that I suck at in prep is cardio, and in off season is water. But in prep, when I say I suck at cardio, I mean it's always done, but I'm just a wreck afterwards. Like it takes so much out of me, and fuck, I do it probably honestly a lot softer than most people do. Like I'm not out here pacing and making sure my heart rate stays up real high. Like I'm just walking for half an hour, and like I don't walk slow, just do a normal walk, but it's not that calculated. I'm just out there walking, and I'm wrecked afterwards. Like afterwards, I'm just fucked. I have to sit down. I can't do anything. Dead. So that's what's been
so
the most
interesting. That's really interesting.
That's what's killed me the most. Like honestly, I'm worse after fucking 30 minutes of cardio than I am training. Just fucking I don't know why, but it's so much of an effort just to fucking walk. I found.
Maybe it's like the mentality behind it compared to like, at least when you're training, you're kind of like, oh, I got to do this. This is going to be beneficial. I'm keeping the muscle full. I'm getting a denser, whatever. Where like,
we enjoy training, I guess, and you have a little bit of variety. Like if I do even on a leg day, like you're doing, and you know what I'm fucking sitting down. Like other than me doing squats, like I'm sitting on a leg press, I'm sitting on a hamstring curl. Like I'm like, this is nice. The sets are hard, but I'm just sitting down. Like it's not
relaxing, laying down on a bench.
Yeah,
it's not continuous. You get rest, and
you get rest in between the sets. Like honestly, as opposed to just standing on your feet, moving continuously for half an hour, which sounds like nothing, but for some reason, that just fucks you up. For me, at least.
Yeah.
But some people just cruise through cardio, and it's like the easiest thing they do, and it's like absolutely sweet. But it's just like I said, everyone in aspects will suck at one thing. Come off season and prep, and they'll most likely be different things, but everyone has that one area where they don't
excel,
nail. And if anyone says that they nail every part all year round, they are lying. It's same as like, I bet you that fucking we're not same as like in off season. I'm not getting enough vegetables in. Fuck no, I'm not.
Fuck no. Too much food.
Yeah, that's right. Like when I was on 6,700 calories was the highest it got. I was not eating a single vegetable. Get absolutely fucked.
Too much volume at that point when you think about other meals.
No.
Yeah,
I get that you should, but that would make me a better technically. It probably would, not necessarily in visual results, but in terms of health and just what you should be doing. I would be better by doing that. But there's no one that's absolutely perfect year round.
No, it's impossible. There's no way.
Well, if you walk.
Yeah, and even Nick Walker admitted he doesn't do vacuums like he should.
Yeah.
Well, what about you?
Do a green shake or anything?
I do greens in the off season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
purely because I'm not eating vegetables.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So I'm like, I'll do greens, and then I'll also do like a multi as well, just to be like more nutrient. But even I was talking to Jared Miller, like Purpose Jared, about just about my supplement stack, because obviously that's what he does, and I was consulting with him and stuff. He's like, honestly, man, when you're eating that much food, you don't need a multi. I was like, yeah, cool.
Mm.
He's like, have your greens and just fucking leave it at that.
Yeah, because at least at that point, most other things are getting taken, absorbing from the food, and it's just the needs of all the stuff from the veggies that you're not getting. Why taking the greens and not taking the multi makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Sam? How's everything going?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Yeah, no real complaint. Today, I started a new plan. I found a way I can eke a few more calories out. So today's at like 1,400. Yeah.
That's
So that was a
decent.
fun morning. Yeah, it was a fun morning, but I seem to have got a bit of life back this afternoon and feel pretty good now. So I'll do that today. Tomorrow's high. I'll do low again Friday. Saturday's high, and then I'll see how long. Because I do Thursday, Saturday with the high days. And then we'll just see how many days you can push 1,400 for. You know, if I can make it all the way through to next day, then I will. But if, something needs to happen in the meantime, then, it's fine. Like Jaiden was saying, say I was to have a high day on Tuesday or something instead, my high day is still a deficit. It's still only 2,400. So you're just slowing the process for a day, but you're still losing fat, so, and you definitely ain't gaining any. So we'll do that. I'm just going to try and chase a really fucking scary condition, something I've never been to before. So I'm just going to see what happens. And like Jaiden said, to a certain point where you go like, all right, we are literally out of fat. Let's put some food back.
I think that's what's going to be beneficial to like your package this year, because you got the increase of weight already. You came in really, really peeled last time. So to kind of like level up all areas, bringing in that freaky condition that, you don't even think you could possibly do, like, will then help, hopefully possibly get you back into the overalls. And, you never know from there.
Exactly.
So,
look, even
100%.
now, I'm probably on par with the conditioning I put on stage last year.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, so it's just a matter now of trying to just deal with the shit. Like Jaden says, the fatigue it's just wild, like I see those stingrays and stuff in my walk and that, and people are like, oh, have you seen your stingray? Have you seen your swans? Have you seen anything? I'm like, I literally haven't even lifted my head the last 6 walks. I don't even know who I'm walking past. You're just shuffling like you're 90 years old. The kids like just look at you and you just look at and you're like, you're screwing up your face because you're in so much pain. You're like, what do you guys want for dinner? What do you want for dinner? And they're just like, oh fuck. They say something, you're like, all right. You stand there for fucking 5 minutes before you start walking towards the fridge to get them something. It's fucking nuts. People,
you have to really contemplate everything before you do it. Like you have to sit there and process and actually mentally prepare just to move.
Yeah.
And
then you feel like, now I feel good. You'd be like, oh, okay, like, I'm starting to feel good and energetic. You're like, I'll get up and take a piss, and you go to stand up. You're like,
nothing again.
Deceiving. Yeah, I find like talking, like the amount of times, if I'm in the gym, like not even training, like if I'm working or something, someone will talk to me. I'm like, sometimes I'll go to talk and I'll just cut my sentence back to like 3 words because just like talking.
Bro, I find that like talking for me and conversing with people, like unless you catch me like maybe just after my session while my pre's still in, but apart from that, like I don't fucking care. Like,
it's a lot of because you got to be present for your PT sessions, and you got to fucking carry on for an hour with that person. Once those sessions are over, like it's minimal. Like I'm happy to engage with people. Just my effort is much less than what people are accustomed to because I'm normally full of beans, So you got that, and then you just get those dicks in the gym too. Like most 99% of people are awesome, but you get those guys that come up and grab you. They're like, "What's happening, Sammy?" And push you around, and you're so weak. It fucking physically hurts my body for you to grab me and push me, or oh, you're looking hard. I'm like, dude, that fucking hurts, man.
Like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah, it's fucking physically hard, man.
Everything hurts. Yeah.
It's
You're actually like really fragile. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, like I don't like on my walk. There's a part. It's 90% on the road, but there's a part I have to walk across like a grass field, and the uneven ground is too hard because I don't like. I feel like I'm just going to fall over sometimes.
Yeah,
and if I fall over, I'm just going to eat dirt and not put my hands out or nothing. I'll be like, this is going to fucking hurt. Yeah. You'll be just like, oh God, boom. You just be laying there. People think you've been shot. So yeah, it's nuts. But like, we're only 3 weeks out now. We got 3 weeks.
Yeah, almost there.
Yeah, exactly. 3 weeks. Say this doesn't work as fast as what we want, and I've got to eat this 1,400 a day, 5 days a week for 3 more weeks. Then we'll start a carb load. You know, in 3 weeks from today. If it works amazing and I can get there within a week or two, sweet, we'll do what Jaiden's doing. We'll start just doing a mini reverse. We turn 1,400 into 1,800, 1,800 into 2,200, 22, like, and we'll just bring it in. Like, it's not enough to actually make, like when my high days last week were about 27, they still don't do anything.
Yeah.
Nah.
You don't physically get any energy or any fuel from it, but it helps mentally having a bigger bowl of food. Like that's enough. You know?
Me and Jaiden talked about this the other day. It's literally like your body's like there's no fat left. You're running at such a high rate. Like your body's like, oh, cool, you gave me 500 grams of carbs. Fuck you. Like
it doesn't care.
It's gone.
Doesn't
it's
do
gone
shit.
before you swallow it.
Yeah.
You assume you're gonna feel better even the next day.
You know what's funny? I feel worse almost.
I have been.
Like I feel that
the next day.
Sometimes.
Yeah, because there's like that insulin spike, and you're like, oh, fuck, I've got to go to sleep. And you're just like, you feel even more of a zombie. Whereas, like, you know, if you're like really low carb for a while, you kind of get used to it. And you're almost just running off fumes, and you're just like you're a bit wiry and a bit like whatever. But like when you had carbs, and you're just like,
yeah, I had to.
I can't even stand up.
I had a potato just before, and I literally woke up like right when you guys sent the link. I fucking just because I had some potato for the first time in I don't know how long, and yeah, like having I would assume that like you know I'd get a high day and I'm like, okay, cool, I got legs tomorrow, so that's gonna be great. And then I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm fucking worse than yesterday. I was like like 600 grams of carbs, it didn't even help. But I was gonna touch them on what you were saying that you know how you were saying your food's nice and low and then you're having the days every was it Tuesday, Thursday or something, you're having your high days, or Thursday, Saturday. Yeah, I think that's what's been the biggest kick in the dick for me this prep is no regularity to high days. Like I've only had since 18 weeks out when I actually started dieting, I've had 5 high days.
See, I didn't have any
5 refeeds / high days on since 18 weeks out, and that's what's hurt me, I think.
Yeah, it feels different. Like last time we didn't, because we'll bring it in. You know, we started in worse condition. We started closer to the everything, so we didn't have a choice. We just had to diet. This time we're ahead of schedule, everything. So I've had little bits and pieces along the way. But my higher days have always been like, between 25, 2,800. I haven't had one of these days where it's like, here, go for it, have 600 grams of carbs or anything. It's all just been like, here's a high day, 350. So, and they've been pretty random. But then Logan sort of, about a few weeks ago, he's like, how about you start having some fucking proper high days? And I just went, well, what have you been giving people? And he said a number, and I'm like, well, how about this? I give myself 2 a week, but I only give myself half of what you said. So I can break up the week. So instead of going to 3,600, I'll go to, 27, 28, but I'll do that twice instead.
Yeah.
And it's
Makes you
working
better.
out. Yeah, it's working well. It's working well.
So, you haven't done the high days purely from a on a bit. Are they on those days for a particular body part, or is it just that's just what's working better with like I guess your
No,
mental?
I don't do, like Jaden was saying, it's irrelevant. I can have it a day before a body part, and it's not going to do anything
Yeah.
to that body part anyway. So Thursday is my rest day, so that's one.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is one of those days where I wake up early, and then there's always a couple of clients at the gym, and then I train then. So I'm up early,
Fits your
starting
schedule.
everything. Yeah, so I'm better off having an extra meal on Saturday. But then Sunday, I can drive low as hell because I just wake up, I'll start
Do
cleaning
nothing.
the house and doing things and have a coffee. Then I'll
Lasted
go for
till
my
midday.
walk. I can push that first meal out to fucking 10, 11 o'clock
Yeah.
on Sunday. And then I'll be like, all right, cool. Now I've eaten that meal and I've had a morning walk. I've been cleaning the house. And I'm going to have a shower and go do something. So I might go to the mall and walk around, get a coffee and everything. Before you get home again, it's not till 3, 4 in the afternoon. You're having meal two. So I find on Sunday, I'll usually do like something for dinner, like steak and veg or whatever. So my calories are still, 16, 1700. But I've only had 3 meals for the day just because I purely stayed as busy as possible out of the place. So.
Yeah. See, that's what I do is I have been doing as well. Like I'll do my fasted cardio, have my fat burners or whatever, and then I'm like I've had regular physio as well, which is in the Gold Coast for me, and then I'm like, all right, fuck around the house for a bit, and I'm like, cool, I'm just gonna drive all the way down to the Gold Coast now, and then after that session, then it's like midday, and I'm like, all right, now I'll eat my first meal, and then I get back, fuck around for a bit more, like you said, it's 3, 4 p.m. and I have my second meal, and I've still got 4 more to eat after that, and I'm like, cool, I can just eat one after the other for the rest of the night, and it keeps me fucking alive. But yeah, so last year with Pierce, I was doing what you're doing now, Sam, like having just a bit extra carbs, having a high day, like once a week. It'd be like my normal day was 300-ish grams of carbs, and then I'd get a day at 500, just a couple hundred extra, and I'd get that that was just once a week regularly, and then I'd send photos to him and he'd be like, oh, cool, have it again today, or have it for 4 days. Have it 4 days in a row, have it again. And I'd start having it like 2 days a week. And that was fine. But now it's more so like go 2 weeks. Now it's like go 2 weeks, 3 weeks on, low and just digging out as hard as you can. And then cool, we'll give you 600 and that'll last you a couple days. Like that'll get you through. Cool. So I'll have that 2 days later, fucking feel worse than what I did before. And then cool. All right. Stay low again for another week and then keep pushing out another week. All right. We'll give you a little bit more again now. So yeah, I think like 3 out of my 5 high days have been in the past like 4 to 5 weeks. But yeah, there hasn't been a lot at all. But now he did that for a reason, just to get me as flat and fucked as he could. So now we can start to basically reverse me into the show, which is when I look my best is when I do a proper reverse. Yeah. But because I was even comparing my photos now to last year, and I look so much flatter. Like the same time now to last year. Like last year I was a lot drier. Like my skin looked harder, grainier, purely just from not being as depleted.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, because I look at my check-in photos now and I'm like, okay, like I was like, I'm very lean. I was like, but there's just nothing going on. I was like, there's absolutely no pop. I look sunken in. For my check-ins last year for the same shows, I was super happy every time I took a check-in. I was like, man, I look so good. Man, I look rock hard. I look grainy. I look lean. I deep striations. Like my shoulders, like striations fucking go to my bone. Like this is awesome. And now I'm just like, what? I can't see anything. Now I'm like, everything's but yeah.
Hey, I had a weird day yesterday. I don't know if this has happened to you guys, but when I was training with Logan, I just looked in the mirror and I just looked like bigger, like noticeably bigger. And I felt like I was walking around with ILS just pumping and that. I said it to Logan's, I said, fucking hell. I said, it looks big today. He goes, it do look round. I'm like, oh, yeah. I got home. I'm normally going to bed now about 88 point something, somewhere in that range to 89, depending how close I eat to bed. And then when I put the kids to bed, I was walking back to my room, just, I'm like, fucking something's up. I jumped on the scale. I was 91 last night and just
Really?
full as a fucking house. Yeah, massive. And I'm going like, what the fuck? And I looked in the mirror and had a look, and everything was striated. Everything was good. It's just, it all must have been in the muscles for whatever reason.
Mm.
And then I'm like, fucking hell. Like, I'm like, well, I ate 1,600 calories yesterday. I'm like, it's not fat, so we'll see what happens. I was up every hour last night pissing. And I woke up at 86.0. I pissed out 5 kilos last night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I've definitely had, a few days like that. Yeah. I get that regularly. And that's why, as well, like, even when I'm super flat and depleted, a lot of guys will see me in the gym and be like, man, you look massive. Like, you don't look flat at all. And it's like not just retards who obviously we look big to everyone all the time, but people actually know what they're talking about. And they're like, oh, like, man, you don't look flat. Like, you look round. You look big. And it's like, and for me, it's water. Yeah. It's just, it's always water. Like, and it just depends what I've done for that day water wise. Like, and then at nighttime, I'm someone who waits to the end of the day to get everything in, meals and water. So I'm usually having my last 3 liters between 6 and whenever I go to bed. Like after 6 p.m., I have like 3 liters of water and 3 meals. I'll do 50% of my entire day after 6 p.m. And so I'm usually, quite filled out and large going to bed. And then, I'm kilos lighter from bed to morning because I just, piss all night long. But,
See, all I've got left for 6 liters is that.
No,
I finish as possible. So I'm trying to reduce the pissing at night.
Yeah.
No, like
drinking it all.
I've had 3 liters now. So I need another 3 liters before I go to bed.
Yeah. This is
like that.
I'd piss at bed.
Once this is done, this is 4, and I've got 1 more of these to go.
Mm.
But I usually get up about at least once, if not twice, a night to piss. So
I get up like 4.
I get up like 4 or 5.
I got up for the 3rd piss last night, and I looked at the time. It was 11:30.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gonna fucking kill me, man.
Well, because I look at my CPAP, the time, so because it has like time elapsed since like time it's been working. So I'll because you have to turn your CPAP, turn my CPAP off every time I fucking get up. Otherwise, I don't know if you guys have one, but it blows a fucking gale.
Yeah.
When you take it off, it's like sounds like a fucking hurricane. So so you take it off and I turn it off, and I'm like time elapsed, and it's like an hour 30. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's criminal.
And then I do it again. It's like time elapsed 4 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, you think it's like halfway through the night, almost the morning, and it's just not even close. But I'm actually the same in the off season as well. Like, I'll still only do 3 meals before 6 p.m. in the off season. Then I'm just doing another 3 after 6. I've always fucking done that. Don't know why. I've always just been a nighttime eater. Just, I don't know.
So
honestly, just organization for me. It's just the only time that I'm fucking sitting down, not doing something. Like, if I'm out during the day or I'm just out doing stuff or whatever, and I fucking don't always have time to stop and eat, I'll just fit it in where I can. And then, it'll be like 6 p.m. and I'm like, cool, I got 3 more meals to eat.
Do you feel like you're force feeding yourself or no? That's so interesting.
Not now. I ate bowl of food the other day. There was a kilo and it didn't even touch the sides.
Yeah, no, because even in the off season, man, it's still 2 hours apart. I'll still eat at 6, and then I'll eat at 8:30, and then I'll eat again at 11. Like, that's still 2.5 hours between meals. It's fine. And I'm normally going to bed at fucking 12:30. Like, that's pretty normal for me because I don't do fucking morning clients, so I get up at like 9 a.m.
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference. Like, if you're getting up a lot earlier, and pushing it along the day. But because
Oh
it
yeah,
starts
when I
later
was
on, it can
yeah,
end.
when I was consistently training at 4 a.m. at rigs, I was like, yeah, I was getting my meals in fucking way early. I'd be like 4 meals deep in fucking 2 p.m.
Mm.
I'd be like, oh shit, like this was easy, but just because I just fucking push it back and I just yeah.
A question I got, which came up with what you're saying, which is really interesting because, we obviously haven't experienced myself, and a lot of people talk about the fogginess or the brain dumps and all stuff like that of prep, but I've never heard it from the point of view of which it makes a lot more sense that actually stems from the fatigue of your body, which then obviously then slows everything down. Do you think that, but on the fatigue, do you think that what you're saying, for example, yourself, Jay, and that compared to last time, what you're doing now is a lot different. So do you think if you were to do the same approach this time, your fatigue would be less? Or do you think you're always kind of in a circle that each time you prep, you got to take your body to another level than you did before? So no matter what, you're always kind of gonna get trapped in that
Yeah.
fatigue
Yeah.
circle
It's
around.
because yeah, no, it's because what I was saying as well, when it's not the food that you're eating, it's your body fat.
Yeah.
That's what does it. Like, so it doesn't matter what you're fucking doing, you have to get to a certain level of condition. And when you're there, you're fucked.
Hmm.
It's as simple as that. So no matter how you approach the prep, if you get in the condition you need to be in, you're gonna be fucked. Yeah. And it's just that you don't have the fucking same energy to prep. Sorry, to think like
Yeah.
it's and process shit properly. And that's exactly what it is, man. I remember I get bad with it too. I just get fucking stupid, bro. I just get just dumb. I just can't like process information the same. It's like thinking about shit you need, right? Like I'm constantly forgetting stuff. Like I'm like, all right, what do I need from like I need to go to Woolies. What food do I need? And I'm like, cool, this. All right, got it. Three things. And then by the time I get to my car, I'm like, what the fuck do I need? And I drive there and I'm like, why the fuck am I here? What do I need? And then I can't feel it. And then you have to sit there and try and remember everything that's in your fridge. And then you finally remember it again. You're like, all right. And you walk through the shops and you get one of the things. And then you're like, what were the other fucking things that I needed? And it's just like, if you don't seriously write shit down, you're going to forget. And it's just processing information. I remember being in Melbourne with Luke. And we went to Woolworths to get basically our shopping list for our carb up. And Luke went off to get his shit. And I was with Charlotte, and I was standing there and I was looking at my meal plan that Sam had for me. And I still
couldn't process it.
Yet. Like I remember I was just staring at it and I was like, I can't figure this out. Like there's too many words and I literally just can't, I don't understand what I need to get. Like I can't read. And it's just like, it's just really weird shit like that.
Such an interesting concept that like you get your body to such a level of like I guess stress that it's not kind of needs to be in, that then something as simple as reading something just doesn't seem like English.
Just cognitive functions just fucking out the window.
Out the window.
I canceled a bunch of clients' payments today and it was just completely the wrong person. Wasn't even close. Yeah. And I was like, fuck's sake. And I had to like restart up all their shit again and everything. Cause I'm just like, yeah, just fucking shit up because I'm forgetting who needs what. And like, so now every time someone mentions something to me that I need to do for them, like I got to write that down. And I'm like writing notes for everything. Cause usually people just talk to me, no matter how many messages I get, I'm like, cool, I just remember shit. And I'm like, I need to do this for that person, this for that person, this for that person. I'll just get it all done. But now I'm like, I don't even remember who I fucking spoke to this morning.
Yeah.
I think that's where like it's important, I guess having that circle, like having those people around you that can kind of pick up on that when you get to that area where your cognitive functions out the window, you can have someone to kind of remember or help you take over that part of your life or, cater to that need so you can kind of not have to worry about it.
Yeah, definitely can help.
Now, did you all watch the Arnold or did any of you watch the Arnold?
I bought it.
Huh?
Yeah, I bought it.
I didn't watch it live, but I saw enough of it.
I saw it afterwards.
Yeah, I saw the clips after. What did you think while watching it, Sam?
We watched it on the phone at the gym, and me and Logan we're of the same thing. I watched the replay later on the big TV here and that, and Samson come out, just looked fucking unreal. But by the end of the first round of posing, was starting to fade. And that was what we were starting to go like, man, he's fading. Andrew Jack was getting harder every round of posing they did, and Nick just stayed the same, which was unreal. Rummy was much improved, looked good.
Yeah, he did look better.
Sean Clarita was fucking insane, but just too small, unfortunately, with those four blokes in front of him. It was fucking awesome, man. It was high level. I mean, even Bonac looked fucking good. Like it was.
Did you have Samson winning, or because of the fading, you thought?
I had Nick winning, Andrew second, Samson third. Watching it, because I just thought because he was fading, I'm like shit. Like I think Andrew might be able to pip him. Samson's shape was nicer. He's rounder. He's a little bit more complete front to back. But I just thought, fuck, with the fading, I'm like, I wonder what it looks like in person. But, there you go. You got up for the win. So
Nick has to be the most consistent bodybuilder to ever exist.
He's a robot,
how to peak him,
he's
like,
as close as
perfectly.
you're going to get that someone that does everything all year round. He's as close as you're going to get.
Yeah, that's right.
Him and Matt, man, they just fucking nail it. Like it's.
Yeah. I'm so glad that they gave it to Samson, but I didn't think they were going to do that. Even watching it, like, and then seeing the finals, like, fuck, I think we all wanted Samson to win, but I didn't think he was going to. Like, I thought they were going to give it to Nick. I'm glad that they gave it to Samson, though, purely because of the statement it made around the judging criteria. That I feel like that Arnold obviously made a huge impact on just everyone's idea of what to go for, because Nick has always had next level conditioning, and I thought they were going to favor that like they usually do, especially in the amateur leagues with us. They're always favoring conditioning over everything. So I assumed it would be the same. I thought it'd just be too good to beat, but it's nice to see that they went for more.
He froze.
Yeah, I think as well, like, one of the strange things is when Samson stands on the Olympia stage, he needs to improve that conditioning. He does. Because you're going to be next to Hardy, next to Derek. You're going to be next to dudes that have fantastic shape. Okay, so yours might be better. So yours is a 10 out of 10. Well, theirs is a 9.5 out of 10. But their conditioning is a 10 out of 10, and yours is an 8. But, so he's not going to take over those guys if they don't sort that out.
Yeah. But to what Jaiden was saying, I think, also to me, it shows, I'm glad that Samson won, and because it shows the consistency of the Olympia. Because when you look at, Nick coming third and Derek and Hardy, and the shape that Derek and Hardy have in comparison to, like, I guess Nick's blockiness. And then when you look at Samson, you can see the follow of the shape there. So they are kind of bringing in that emphasis of, well, shape is still going to be an important factor moving forward. And then obviously, wherever that lays to then conditioning, size, whatsoever. Hence, I guess, in regard then Sean placing 5th like he did. But I'm looking at the scorecards, and like Samson, perfect score, 5-5, prejudging and finals. Nick got 11 and 10. So it wasn't even close.
Well, look, here's the thing. Like, yes, it was. So just because you get a 1 and I get a 2 doesn't mean I nearly got a 1 over you. Just because they have to give you somebody a 1 and somebody a 2 doesn't mean it nearly didn't go the other way for that judge. Same as you look at a boxing fight. You can win 10 rounds, 10-9.
Yeah.
But all 10 rounds, you only beat me by 1 punch.
Yeah.
It was a close fight. But then they're like, oh, cool, it's 50-45. It's a clean sweep. What a domination. It's like, no, they're 5 fucking insane rounds where that guy happened to eke out each round.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Just because Samson got 1s doesn't mean he smoked them.
Yeah.
At all. I'm sure it was very, very close.
I forget it works like that. There's 5 judges, and obviously each judge just gave him a 2. It's not like a more it's
But how many of those
yeah,
nearly gave him a one? Oh,
yeah,
fuck. If I have to pick, which I do, Samson one, but fuck, it's Nick
yeah, very
two. Like,
close.
we don't know how close they were. I doubt it was a domination because following the bodybuilding, and Samson's my favorite bodybuilder.
Mm.
He is my favorite bodybuilder, but following bodybuilding criteria, Nick won that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they want to, I don't know, maybe Nick's already qualified, so it's good to have
Yeah, giving
someone
Samson that
new
requalification.
qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been that. They're like, well, we're not going to, if we're going to follow shape and its importance combined with conditioning over just conditioning, well, then you should have gone Samson, Andrew, Nick. But they're like, well, we can't put somebody from third at the Olympia to third at the Arnold and have a guy that was eighth at the Olympia beat him.
But do you think
So
it's
there was
that,
a little,
or do you think it's because Andrew's not as complete? Because Nick's very, very complete. Like you can't argue that Nick's not complete. So do you think the reason?
he's extremely complete.
So would you say that it's due Andrew, even though Andrew has the shape, and that's why I think he then obviously placed higher than Rami, but the completeness of that he lacks in like the back and that in the back shots in comparison to Nick had him placed third. Because that's how I see it.
Yeah, look, I mean, the thing is, it all comes down to who you're standing next to.
Mm.
And when you looked at that, like, it's not like, yes, Andrew's back needs to come up to match how good his front is, but it's not like it's terrible.
Yeah.
And his conditioning was far superior to Samson's, like far superior. You could see the striations in his lats, lower back. The glute ham tie was etched out, like all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, look, who knows? They're not going to tell us if they went, fuck, we need a new qualifier, so let's not make Nick win. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? But
because at that point, it's really like
definitely leaves questions.
Yeah,
it leaves questions because we don't know what they're thinking, and we've just got to look at the scorecard and go, well, he's straight ones. And it's like, yeah, but based on what merit? What were they looking for? What was the discussion at the table overnight before they looked at the finals the next day? What was, like, it would be nice to get an insight and learn more about what these judges are really looking for.
and I think that's important. I think that's something that hopefully we can start to, I guess, push in the industry and get that little communication barrier kind of crossed, because it's like what you're saying, you look at it and you kind of go, okay, well, we're going off the scorecard, but like, what is the semantics? What was the conversation of, like, how close was 1 and 2 point, like you're saying? Was it just because to them, Nick was just a little bit more flatter because he was so conditioned, so he didn't have enough fullness? So, okay, that's why we gave him a 2, not a 1. Like, it would be interesting to at least have that out there, but then I don't know, like, are they too worried about then people too nitpicking about certain things? And then because it's such it's always that debate over and over again.
Like, the problem is with judging is the conversation's going to nitpick at them regardless. If they keep it a secret and we've got to try and speculate on what 1 and 2 and 3 means, we're going to be like going, how did this guy come first, but then the next equivalent shape got third, and then conditioning got second, and it, like, we're going to have to get, and then if they expose all and say, hey, guess what? Here's what our thought process was, people are going to argue with that as well. So I feel like, but I think the thing that will help is the competitors and their coaches and other judges to try and go, shit, all right, so this was the conversations they had around the judging at the Arnold. I've never looked at it from that point of view. Maybe I should, when I'm judging, I should look at things along those lines so that we're more uniform than that, So it would be nice to have, to maybe, I don't know, have notes available or something. But yeah, look, it was, like I said, everybody was fucking shredded. Yeah. It was a top-notch show. It was high quality. It was really good to watch. I'm glad Samson won because I just think his shape's fantastic. Nick looked insane inside out. Andrew jacked. Everyone was wondering if he could improve. He was much improved. Yeah. He looked awesome. Rami came back and looked way better than Olympia. Looked awesome. Sean Corrida held his own, even though he's 115 pounds less, than Rami. Held his own, looked great, and everybody gave him credit for the shape that he has and the conditioning that he brings. So it was
Yeah, well,
it was a fucking good show.
Yeah, because Sean still got fifth. Like he still cracked that top five. Like that's amazing, especially when you look at how big those boys are and how tall they are and the shape. Like
Looked wild.
he
And
held his
got
own.
more muscle than him and everything, but he beat him because of balance and conditioning. Again, Bonac improved from the Olympia and looked really, really good. Yeah, man, good show.
Good show. I think it was. I think a lot of talk too, and I agree with it in regards to like it was just nice to kind of have a show with that level of competition with small numbers because we had the Olympia, but because there was like 30 athletes, so there was a lot of people that kind of got overlooked, and everyone was just kind of focused on that top 5, top 3. We had those like Derek, and that we kind of were more just focused on. Where this kind of just gave a thing of like, here's 10 guys, let's just go to town, let's enjoy a good show.
I found out the Olympia was outside of the top 6. There wasn't really much conversation at all. People even forget what position Christo came.
Yeah.
And Andrew Jack and Hollingshead and fucking Bonac and Ian Valier. All these people are like, oh, where'd they even outside of the first call out? We weren't even talking.
So
you see Ian Valier's got the back end.
Yeah, he's gone back to Matt. So that's really, I thought that was interesting because I thought him and Patrick were a really good combo.
I said this not long ago. I said, I reckon he's going to leave. I don't think Patrick's nailing him, and he's not nailed him now for like 3 or 4 shows. He's been good enough because he's been conditioned, but he's not been full and he's looked in detail. And I just sort of, I go like, I don't think they're working.
No.
And everyone's like, well, he's winning. I'm like, I think he's better than that. And then he said the same thing the other day. He just sort of goes, look, it's not that anything Pat did was bad. I think I can deliver a better package or a different package than what I've been delivering. And I feel like it can potentially show off my potential even more. Yeah. So I like the way he worded it. I knew what he was getting at, and I think he's 100% right.
I agree. I think him and Patrick, like you said, they got a system. They made what work. He made improvements, but I do agree the last few shows there were, I guess, some issues, and there is still room for improvement. I can see Ian cracking that top 6, top 5. I think he can. Whether it's only 5th place, maybe he doesn't go 4, 3, 2, 1. He just stays 5th. He won Olympia. I think he can get in that conversation, and I think if it's going to happen, it will happen with Matt. So, it will be interesting to see how he turns up I think he's doing the Toronto Pro.
What I think, like, as far as the Olympia goes, it's a fucking Shark Tank now. So, like, maybe he never improves on 7, because maybe now there's just too many dominating figures up there. But if he was to get 7th again or 8th or 9th, but you put the photo up of 2024 versus 2021, and he goes like, wow, I'm so much better. You won't care that the placing's no higher than that. Like, if you're standing in a murderer's row top 6 that just no one can crack, then so be it. But if you can look at the photos and go, here's the package I put up consistently with Patrick, and now here's the package I've put up with Matt, and I am big, I'm full, there's separation in my quads, there's more fullness to my back, and that, I think he'll be over the moon with that choice no matter what. Because I just think, look, I mean, Patrick dieted down Logan, and he was doing Ben Chow and Ian Valier and all of these guys. It's the same issue. They're over dieted. I don't like the look that Patrick puts up. He doesn't believe in refeeds. He doesn't believe in any food outside of chicken, broccoli, and rice. Like it's. Yeah, and he consistently seems to put up the same sort of stuff. The guys lack pop and lack detail.
And that's the thing. Like, I think you can get away with that with some athletes, but then when you're doing it with all of them and it's not working, like, where's that point where you kind of go, okay, it's time to reevaluate and kind of make an individual thing for each athlete.
And look, and James Holling said he was very polite because it's James, but he said that's exactly what he said about. About Patrick. He's like, man, I need someone that when I talk to him, go, man, I'm flat. I need food. I need to be filled up. I need something. I need someone that can share a conversation with me and go, well, all right, if you're feeling this way. This is what we can do together instead of like, no, keep dieting, eat no food, there, fucking look small when you get there. And
That's the thing. You need a.
I think he's consistently put the same package up with too many people, and I think he needs to update how he looks at coaching.
Yeah.
Whether it just be more conversing with the athlete to get feedback, or just maybe experimenting with different things. I'm not sure, but I just keep saying the same thing over and over. And so I'm really happy for Ian. I don't know if Ian's going to place any higher, but I think he's going to look better. And I think that'll be more valuable to him.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, you know, you're going to place where the judges put you as long as you're happy with the package you brought and you're beating your own package. Like, that's the name of the game, really.
You look fucking retarded. Best you've ever looked. Everything's fucking full, popping, shredded and everything. You get 10th. What else can you expect?
Still a win.
Still a win.
It is what it is. That means that 9 murderers in front of you. So fair play.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you come into a show your best, but people beat you, it's like, well, what are you complaining about? They obviously deserve to beat you, and that's okay. You can't do anything about it.
They're better than you.
Which is all right. Like
it's fine. Yeah. Okay. So why did they beat me? I need to be bigger. All right, great. Well, next year I'm going to have another year of training under my belt.
I think it's that.
So I can help mitigate that. Did they beat me because conditioning wasn't there? Okay, maybe I started my diet too late. Maybe I started my diet in too fat condition. Maybe I was sneaking treats in, coach didn't know about. Maybe I was skipping cardio, coach didn't know about. So if you need to bring in better conditioning, chances are, if you've got any sort of head on your shoulders, you can look at things that you could have improved on. And if the other things balance, it comes down to the science game. Well, all right, they told me I need more arms. All right, well, I'm going to blast them twice a week, and we'll see what they look like next year and the year after. But eventually, if I stay at this game and I keep eating, I keep growing, I keep training my weak points, eventually I will be the last man standing.
Yeah, you'll be rewarded.
Keep improving. Yeah, I can't keep improving every single year and then continuously complain that the judges have got it wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
do the job.
You improve, you will climb the ladder. Yeah, it's guaranteed. Your work will pay off every single time. But if you're too scared to get fat in the off season, you're too scared to lift heavy, and you're too scared to feel fatigued in the diet and all this sort of stuff, you're going to keep placing wherever, and then you're going to be another one of them that just keeps complaining about, oh, I don't know what the judges are looking for.
I think the race should not be race to first, or it should be a race to become an undeniable. Like you want to become undeniable. You want to be that last person standing. Doesn't matter how long it takes you. Like that's where the passion for the sport lies. Really, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, we lost Jaiden too. Jaiden's not coming back. So
yeah, I did see that.
And look, I don't understand where there's so much shame in getting a second call out. It's your first ever show.
Yeah.
Or your second ever show. Like bodybuilding's different. This isn't bikini where we can have enough muscle in the next 12 months to have a go. And then it comes down to shape, proportions, good coaching, good client coach relationships, all that sort of stuff. We are in bodybuilding, and it takes a long time to actually become a bigger man.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much drugs you take and how much fat you put on in the off season, that each year you're only going to gain half a kilo to 3 or 4 kilos. And whether you like it or not, be okay with getting a last place if you go, well, I had a great fucking time. I can't wait to come back next year. Because then you'll get in the third call out, and I can't wait to be back next year. And you get a second call out. Can't fucking wait to be back next year. You hit the first call out. Can't fucking wait to be back next year. You get a top 3. Yeah. If you keep loving it and keep obeying the rules of growing in the off season and dieting hard and getting shredded, you will improve every year. And all the others that come in saying, I can't wait to be a pro, they quit after a year. They didn't like the diet, or they fucking, whatever, their bum hurt, whatever. Like you'll outlast them. They will drop off.
I think a big part of it's just really trying to enjoy and appreciate where you're at right now.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to think about, when I'm a pro, I'll do this, and this. It's like, yeah, but you're not a pro. You're an amateur. and all you're
Yeah.
realistically trying to do is improve on what you did last year. And that's been my biggest mindset change this year is just, well, that's what I did last year. I'm just going to focus on blowing that out of the water. That's all I'm focusing on. And
Yeah.
again, if it's good enough to win, fucking great. And I believe if I come in at my best, I can. But at the end of the day, again, if someone beats me, whether it's Jaiden, Louis, Jean, or someone I don't know about, they would have deserved to beat me. So that's all right.
And that's it. And you go there like fucking fair play to him. Like you look at the photos, we're not dumb. I can look at the photos and see where Cam got me in and what shots and what angles and what shots I held my own on and what shots I potentially won. I'm not silly. So you look at that, you congratulate them, and that's now your benchmark. You're like, man, like that's what I need to do. I need
like this year, this is what I'm going to achieve. This year is how I'm going to get to that. So then that can't beat me. And if someone beats me, well, that's the next benchmark.
Fair play to anyone that can beat you when you are at your best.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I try my fucking best at 10-pin bowling and I bowl the best game I've ever beaten and somebody beats you, I don't complain that the lane favoured him or fucking politics or anything like that. Like, wow, that's the benchmark. That's how good I need to be. If I want to keep doing this, that's how much I need to practice so I can beat that guy. The same thing goes with this. So, that comment that gets passed around a lot, I'm going to take some time off till I'm good enough to turn pro.
Why?
Or until I'm good enough to play. I'm good enough to get a first call out. It's like, you're in the wrong sport. You're in the world's slowest sport.
Yeah, literally.
Bodybuilding's the world's slowest sport. If you're going to wait till you're good enough to get a top 3, I'll see you in 6 years.
And realistically too, it's probably going to take, if you take like years and years off competing, you'll inevitably take your foot off the gas. Like you're not going to be as dialed in. Like I think Jaiden said it a few podcasts ago. Like if you're somewhat actively competing regularly, you're going to improve at a better rate because you're not in this extended off season for 2-3 years. Like you diet down, you get more insulin sensitive, you rebound, you put a good amount of muscle on, you push up in the off season. Then you get insulin sensitive again when you get shredded. You rebound, you repeat the process. Like,
and that just. Sorry, you go, keep going.
I was just going to say, your rate of growing, I think, in my opinion, is actually better if you compete once a year, once every 2 years, rather than I'm going to take 5 years off.
Yeah, and I think that also backs like what you're saying, Sam, is. In doing that, you're then each time you compete, you're going to be making that progress and going, okay, well, I'm going from third to second call out to first call out. Okay, I'm going from sixth place to third place to fourth place, now to second place, where you take those 3-4 years off, you let your foot off the gas. All of a sudden you went from one show, you did the third call out, and then you're still in third call out again.
Yeah, when you look and you diet, when you diet down again, there's a couple of things too. I was talking with Logan about it yesterday. I said, look, if I take a year off now, I'm too old. The amount that I'm hurting now to get this condition and how much fatigue I've got and how much I've got to mitigate being a dad through all this and everything as well, I won't come back to it. I need to do it while it's fresh in my mind. I know how much last year hurt. I'm okay with doing it again. If I take 2 years off and then I go back into the imagination of like, diet starts in 6 weeks, it's like, I don't know if I want to go there again, man.
Yeah.
I've had 2 years off, 3 years off now. I don't know. And that's where Logan's at now. He's watching me train and helping me. And he's like, fuck watching you, cunt. He's like, that makes me just wonder if I'm willing to go through it all again. It's been 4 years. He's like, I don't know. That's when the conversation started. I said, no, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I compete every year. I feel like if I take time off, I might not come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's that sense of urgency that you're missing as well. If you're taking, 3-4 years off, like there's no sense of urgency because you've got almost half a decade to just fuck around. Like,
and I won't grow. If I take 2 years off, I won't grow 1 fucking kilo. I'll be lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so true. So true. That's why I'm at that point where I just might as well start competing now. It just doesn't fucking matter where I got to play. Just start doing it.
The sooner you start, the sooner you know where you stand and what to work on specifically, and how you look up there as a bodybuilder. Like, And the only reason that because I was kind of forced to take 5 years off from my first show to the last season that I did. But that was purely because number one, I did take a few years off initially because I was like, I'm going from ICN to IFBB. So that was a bit of a game plan. I was like, no, that's like, there's a legitimate thing there because obviously I want to get used to being an enhanced athlete and, actually put tissue on, which took a bit of time. But then, then from there, it was just a case of obviously life circumstances just weren't allowing for it at the time. But then, did last season. I'm like, right, let's make a run at this. This is it. And so that's why I'm like, sweet, do season A again.
Keep going from there.
Yeah, granted, I probably won't do season A next year because that's when George is going to compete.
Yeah, we might as well, let the focus be
let her do that. But so I will, for me, the earliest next one I'll do will be season B next year. Give myself just a bit more time in the off season because next time I compete, I want to be in super heavies.
But the thing with that, you're still competing once a year, even if it is season B.
That's right,
it's
exactly.
still once a year.
It's just an extra 6 months off season. Yeah. That's basically because I felt like obviously I grew really, really well this off season. But again, in my mind, it's a case of right, I know I could have done more. I just wanted just that little bit of extra time. But me and Sam agreed again, sense of urgency was good. I needed it. So, run with season A again. But for me, as far as I actually prefer season B shows just because of the timing of the year, because I hate prepping through Christmas and my birthday's in December, and I have a lot of family whose birthdays are around that time. And I've had, so it's like, cool. Well, if I can still compete that year, I'll just do it obviously at the later season, because in that way I'm prepping through winter, which I thoroughly enjoy. It's just not, and then obviously when I'm done, then like a month and a half, 2 months later is, the whole, festive kind of season. It's my birthday. And then I'm in kind of relaxation mode and I can enjoy life, and I'm not, because with me, like, I don't know if you know this, like I was diagnosed with ADD as a kid. So part of that is hyper focusing on things I'm interested in. So when I know that I'm about to start getting ready for a show, or I am getting ready for a show, my mind is very towards that.
Yeah.
And I tend to tune a lot of other things out. It's good for me so I can be more present in those times and actually enjoy them. Because otherwise I just think, fuck.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, exactly.
What you're saying, like with frequency and being focused and that's why I like competing regularly. Because for me, after this show, the plan's set. I'm going to spend about 8 to 12 weeks, getting healthy again. And then when it's go time, I got 16 weeks of pounding food. Like even if I'm in that 8 to 12 weeks before I start my off season, even if I'm only eating 3,500, 4,000, I miss a meal one day, and that's fine. It's all good. But then when it's go time, I need to make sure that this 16 weeks is not what I'm going to hit every calorie of every day and force that 16 weeks in, then back off, get healthy again, then force the issue with prep. If I've got 2 years off, I'm not going to force 104 weeks of food. I'm pretty much going to settle in that pattern where some days I eat my 5,000, a lot of days I eat 3.5 to 4, and at the end of the year, you just haven't made the changes that you hoped.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
that's why the other name of bodybuilding is consistency. Like that's the biggest thing that you get drilled into is consistency in all aspects.
Yeah,
exactly. You let your foot off the consistency, you just won't make the progress that you want to make, and you have to lay in that bed.
We're all members of gyms. We've seen these guys and girls there for 5 years, and they look the same as 5 years ago.
Oh, bro,
because one day they're good and one day they're bad, and at the end of the year, it's not enough. Like you need to be good 9 times out of 10 for the body to go fine. You show me 9 days in a row of consecutive lots of food or little food. Here's a little reward. Here's a loss of fat or a gain of muscle.
Bro, it was very funny actually. I had this conversation with my younger brother Damien because on when was it Monday? So my first session back at World's Caloundra because I'm back training there because he trains there too. So we went and rolled in there together, and we were doing an exercise next to each other, and somehow we got in the conversation of like it was just about exactly that, basically about like people just fucking around and looking exactly the same. And I said, bro, look around at this gym right now. I said, all the people, like, it's all the same people. Some new people, yeah, but like most of them are like, I know who they are or I know of them. They all look the fucking same. I've been gone for 4 months.
Nothing's happened.
Like they've done fuck all. And I said, it's happened to every gym I've gone to. Like I remember when I first went to World Gym Maroochydore in 2018, and half of the cunts there, they've either like, they're either still there or they've come to World Gym Caloundra now. All look the fucking same.
Yeah.
There's like,
and guess what? Half of those cunts are on the juice as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. And granted, and I did make this distinction to Damien as well. I was like, I'm not talking about the average gym goer who's there to be healthy and have upkeep. Like, fair,
Yeah. About bodybuilders.
I'm talking about people who either compete, want to compete, or talk about
Smack
competing,
talkers.
or they're just run. They're blasting a bunch of gear. Like, there's one fucking cunt in that gym who blasts. Like, I remember talking to him. He's running like 500 megs a test, 400 megs a deca. He looks like a fucking rake. And I came back. He looked exactly the same. And I was like, fuck that piss off. I was like, that's abuse of drugs right there.
You're blasting gear. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Wow.
just become a regular gym dude who likes to train and doesn't mind if he looks 5 years because he's not destroying himself with gear and fucking shit food and alcohol all weekend and gear all Monday to Friday. Like, just become a dude who loves the gym. What's wrong with that? What's the shame in that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with just being someone who likes training.
Yeah.
Like, and just goes to train, have fun, progress a little bit. That's totally cool. No one's saying that you have to be a bodybuilder, but don't fucking.
But if you talk smack, I'm going to hold you accountable.
The fucking. Oh, and I have friends or acquaintances who are like this, and like, they're good dudes, but I'm like, they've been talking about competing for like 5 years. I'm like nut up or shut up. Like, don't fucking talk about it to me when I'm an active competitor.
Oh, I don't want to get last.
What? Oh, bro, the amount of people I know who I'll be like, so like, oh, you're looking good, man. I'm like, you plan on doing a show anytime soon? Like, what are you thinking? They're like, oh, I was gonna do this season, but I've decided to push it to next year just to put on more size. And I'm like, no, you're just a fucking coward.
Yeah, you don't want to. You don't want to go up there and get the place you deserve.
Yeah, well, it's exactly, and this is the thing. It's like you're just scared of either not winning, or going through the process of getting shredded because it hurts.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're a fucking coward. Like, shut up about it.
One of the best physiques.
I can agree more.
I get so pissed about it, man, because it's just like and they're talking to me about this as I'm going through it. I'm just like, oh man, I don't have a lot of time to talk about it. Off.
Look, one of the best physiques in the country won't get on stage because they're too scared.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They keep pulling out,
and
that's literally that you're too fucking scared. Because what if one of us stands next to you and beats you?
Yeah,
you said you were supposed to win, and you believed that everybody in the country had you winning. People just want to see you have a go.
Yeah,
bro, you'll get there. If you don't win your first time, you'll get there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and if you do win first time, everybody will fucking pat you on the back and say, "Good job. It's good to finally see you up there."
100%.
100%. Just commit. This is the thing. It's like, just finish what you start. Commit to the process. And just give it your best effort and just fucking do it. Like, don't pull out because of bullshit reasons. Like,
and they are made up. The reasons are completely made up.
Yeah, they're so over dramatized and just blown out of proportion. Because at the end of the day, if your life was on the line, you could still do the show.
Yeah,
if those things were there. But you're just like, oh no, I had to call it because X, Y, and Z. It's like, how about you just commit to yourself when you start the prep that when issues come up, because I can tell you right now, like from start of this prep to right now, I could have justified pulling the pin probably about 5 times if I wanted to. Like, but at the end of the day, like, what would that serve? I'm already in the middle of prep. I'm already going through it. And I said to myself at the start of the prep, right, I know how last prep was, and I still got through it. So when something comes up this prep, number one, I've got George there. She's got my back. We will handle it together. And number two, anything that comes up, I'm just going in with the mindset of I'm just going to handle my business.
Yeah.
whatever comes up, I will just deal with, and I will do it to the best of my ability, and I will just keep moving through. Because
I was talking to Mike Lucy. I messaged Mike yesterday, the day before. I said, "How you going, bro? Like, you're looking nuts." He goes, "Look," he goes, "I'm not gonna lie, I'm just getting by." He goes, "Some shit's come up this prep, but I'll let everyone know about it when I'm done."
I've got a I don't actually know
You know what
Mike
I mean?
personally.
Like that motherfucker. Like,
Man, I don't know
that's
Mike.
what you do.
I don't know Mike personally. I've met him once when me and Jaiden went to one gym, but that was the day after
Yeah,
obviously he didn't win his pro card, and
yeah.
he was a bit shitty, but lovely host, and yeah, obviously really great facility. But man, I've got a lot of respect for what I know about Mike as far as just like, because obviously he runs a gym, he's also a coach and a businessman, like,
Yeah.
and he just doesn't miss a beat from what I see, man. Like he comes in fucking peeled,
He's
and
Nick
like
Walker. Mate. He's the Aussie Nick Walker.
pretty much, man. And like you
Yeah.
feel like I remember the first time I saw him compete was, I think it would have been 2018 or something like that. One of the first IFBB shows I went to and watched. And from there to now, man, fuck me. Like, and because no one's going to sit there and say Michael Lucy is like, a Phil Heath of bodybuilding. He's not like the most genetically gifted dude. So the fact that he looks the way he does now is a true testament to like just how much work he's put in and how much graft he's given
Brutal hard work.
fucking oath, man. And like I saw the food he was eating the day after the show, man, the amount of food. Like, because I think he just finished training arms or something. He had this fucking like mixing bowl of about probably 200 grams of cereal and like banana and berries and protein and like just so much food. And it's like, and people are like, yeah, that's just Mike. And I'm like, fuck, that's so like that is just a mountain of food. And you can tell he didn't want to eat it, but he's just there, he's just doing his thing.
I saw that at when I flew down for the New South Wales show in season B.
Yeah.
And you seen everyone around the booths and that, and I seen Mike there, so I said g'day. Same thing. He had like a Tupperware container that you would keep 5 days worth of chicken in. It was that big, just full of oats with his fucking little spoon, just eating it. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how many oats was in that. Like, by the time you put the water and everything in there, it was a fucking big bowl.
Yeah, right.
It was nuts.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, look, that's the one thing. And look, there was when I did season A 2019, I was living in my car for part of that prep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the marriage split up.
Yeah.
I was living in my car. I had no home. I was trying to find a place to live in that, but I said I'd do that show. And I'm like, well, look, it's not going to be the best I've ever looked, but I said I'd do it. I rocked up. I think I got 4th or 5th or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't tell no one. I put up a post after the show and said, I'm because people are going, oh, you should have placed higher. No, I got the place I deserve. Like I didn't prep properly. I wasn't doing cardio. I was, I couldn't cook for quite a few days. I was borrowing mates' kitchens, to make some meal prep and that. Like, I'm proud of the position of the place I got because this is what I went through to get there.
Because of the cards you were dealt at the time.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about it till it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Handle your business, then get
Handle
the job done, get it done, and then people who care, people that matter. That's when you kind of you can let them know this is what's going on, this is what was happening. But follow through with your actions. It's so important to commit and follow through with what you're going to do. Like be, what's the word? Be true to your word.
Yeah, be integral to yourself. If you say you're going to do something and you mean it, do it.
If you're willing to lie to yourself or quit on yourself, I'm not going to be your friend.
No way.
You lie to me and you'll quit on me. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if you're going to lie to yourself, then fucking ain't nobody else got a place around you.
Yeah. Hey boys, I got to run, so I got to.
That's cool.
Yeah. To wrap it up, but thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yes.
Peace and love.
See you, boys.
See ya.